What if I told you that scientists can predict with shocking accuracy how long you'll live after turning 70? Not by looking at your genes, not by checking your family history, but by observing 7 simple signs that most people completely overlook. In fact, one of these signs is so powerful that people who have it are 300% more likely to live past 90. And the best part? You can start improving these signs today, regardless of your current age. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what these 7 signs are, which ones you have right now, and most importantly, how to strengthen every single one of them. Let's dive in. Welcome back to the Wise Wrinkles. If you're new here, we break down the latest longevity research into practical steps you can take today. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our weekly videos on living a longer, healthier life. Now, here's something fascinating. A groundbreaking 2023 study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association followed over 15,000 people aged 70 and older for more than a decade. What they discovered will change how you think about aging. Researchers identified 7 key predictors that, when combined, could forecast with 85% accuracy who would live into their 90s and beyond. But here's what makes this different from everything else you've heard. These aren't genetic factors you can't control. These are observable, measurable signs that you can actually improve starting today. Before we reveal what these 7 signs are, I want you to do something. As we go through each one, rate yourself honestly from 1 to 10. At the end, add up your score, and I'll tell you exactly what it means for your longevity. Deal? Let's begin. Sign number 1 might surprise you: your walking speed. That's right, something as simple as how fast you walk is one of the most powerful predictors of longevity after 70. A landmark study from the University of Pittsburgh tracked 34,000 older adults and found that those who walked at a pace faster than 3 feet per second, that's about 2 miles per hour, had significantly lower mortality rates over the next decade. In fact, for every 0.1 meter per second increase in walking speed, there was a 12% reduction in mortality risk. But why does walking speed matter so much? Here's the fascinating part. Your walking speed is actually a window into multiple body systems working together. It reflects your muscle strength, cardiovascular fitness, nervous system function, balance, and even cognitive processing. It's like a comprehensive health test that requires no equipment. Here's how to measure your walking speed at home. Mark out a 13-foot distance in your home or hallway. Walk at your normal, comfortable pace from start to finish. Time yourself. If you complete it in 4 seconds or less, you're in the fast walker category. 4 to 6 seconds puts you in the moderate range. More than 6 seconds means you have significant room for improvement. The good news: walking speed can be dramatically improved at any age. A 2021 study showed that a 12-week walking program increased walking speed by 20% in participants over 75. Here's your action plan. Walk for 30 minutes daily, but add 2-minute fast walking intervals where you intentionally pick up the pace. Include strength training twice weekly, focusing on leg exercises like squats, lunges, and calf raises. Practice balance exercises daily, like standing on 1 foot for 30 seconds. Rate yourself right now. If you're a fast walker, give yourself a 10. Moderate pace, give yourself a 6. Slow walker, start with a 3. But remember, this is one of the easiest signs to improve.
Sign number 2 is grip strength. And this one has shocked researchers with how powerful a predictor it is. Multiple studies have shown that grip strength is actually a better predictor of all-cause mortality than blood pressure. A comprehensive 2015 study published in The Lancet followed 140,000 people across 17 countries and found that every 5-kilogram decrease in grip strength was associated with a 16% higher risk of death from any cause. Think about that. Your handshake might literally predict your lifespan. But grip strength isn't just about your hands. It's a proxy measure for your overall muscle mass and strength. As we age, we naturally lose muscle in a process called sarcopenia. This muscle loss accelerates after 70, and weak grip strength is an early warning sign that this process is happening too quickly. While a dynamometer gives the most accurate reading, here's a simple home test. Try opening a new, tightly sealed jar without using tools or tricks. If you can do it easily, you likely have good grip strength. Struggle significantly? That's a sign to improve. For men over 70, grip strength below 26 kilograms is concerning. For women, below 16 kilograms indicates weakness. The amazing thing about grip strength is how quickly it responds to training. Here's your protocol. Use hand grippers or squeeze a tennis ball for 10 repetitions 3 times daily. Carry your groceries instead of using a cart when possible. Practice farmer's walks, hold weights at your sides and walk for 30 seconds, rest, repeat 5 times. Include pull-ups or rows in your strength training, even if modified versions. A 2019 study showed that older adults who did grip strength training 3 times per week saw a 25% improvement in just 8 weeks. That's faster results than most medications. Rate yourself. Can you easily open jars and carry heavy grocery bags? Give yourself an 8 to 10. Some difficulty? 5 to 7. Significant struggle with everyday grip tasks? Start at 2 to 4. Sign number 3 might be the most surprising of all, the quality and quantity of your social connections. And I'm not talking about Facebook friends or followers, I mean real, meaningful relationships. Harvard's study of adult development, which has followed participants for over 80 years, found that people with strong social connections lived longer, were happier, and had better cognitive function. In fact, loneliness and social isolation increase mortality risk by 50%. That's equivalent to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. A 2023 meta-analysis of 148 studies involving over 300,000 participants found that people with strong social relationships had a 50% increased likelihood of survival compared to those with weaker social ties. But here's what's crucial. It's not about how many people you know, it's about the depth and quality of those connections. Why does this matter so much? Social connection reduces chronic inflammation, lowers cortisol levels, improves immune function, and even affects gene expression. Your body literally functions better when you have meaningful relationships. Ask yourself these questions honestly. Do you have at least 3 people you could call in an emergency who would drop everything to help you? Do you have face-to-face interactions with friends or family at least 3 times per week? Do you feel understood and valued by the people in your life? Are you part of at least one social group or community? If you answered yes to all 4, you're in great shape. 2 or 3, you're doing okay but have room to grow. 1 or none, this needs to become a priority. Building social connections after 70 can feel challenging, but it's absolutely possible. Join a class or club based on your interests, whether it's gardening, book club, or exercise class. Volunteer for a cause you care about. Volunteering creates natural connections with like-minded people. Reach out to one old friend or family member each week, even just for a phone call. Consider getting a pet. Studies show pet ownership reduces loneliness and increases social interactions. Rate yourself. Strong social network with daily meaningful interactions? 9 to 10. Regular connections but could be deeper? 6 to 8. Feeling isolated or lonely? 1 to 5. But remember, this is completely fixable. Sign number 4 is cognitive engagement, and this goes far beyond doing the occasional crossword puzzle. We're talking about actively challenging your brain in novel and complex ways. The ACTIVE study, funded by the National Institute on Aging, followed nearly 3,000 older adults and found that those who engaged in cognitive training not only improved their mental abilities, but also reduced their risk of dementia by 29%. Even more fascinating, these benefits lasted for at least 10 years. But here's what many people get wrong. It's not about keeping your brain busy. It's about giving it new challenges. A 2022 study from Columbia University showed that learning a new skill, especially one that requires sustained effort and practice, creates new neural pathways and actually increases brain volume in areas associated with memory and cognitive function. The key word here is novel. Your brain adapts to routine activities and stops being challenged by them. That daily crossword puzzle? After a few months, it's not really challenging your brain anymore. You need to constantly introduce new complexity. Think about the past month and ask yourself, have you learned something completely new that required sustained effort? Do you regularly engage in activities that require problem solving or critical thinking? Can you recall details from conversations or things you've read without significant effort? Do you feel mentally sharp and quick to understand new concepts? Here's your cognitive engagement protocol, and remember, the key is novelty and challenge. Learn a new skill every 3 to 6 months. Best options: musical instrument, new language, dance, digital photography, painting, or coding. Read challenging material daily, not just for entertainment, but books or articles that make you think deeply, and take notes. Engage in strategic games like chess, bridge, or complex strategy board games at least twice weekly. Practice deliberate memory exercises. Memorize poems, shopping lists without writing them down, or phone numbers. Take a class on something you know nothing about. Community colleges and online platforms offer endless options. A critical point: combining cognitive challenges with social interaction and physical activity creates the most powerful effect. A dance class, for example, hits all three. Rate yourself. Regularly learning new complex skills and feeling mentally sharp? 9 to 10. Some cognitive engagement, but mostly routine? 5 to 8. Mostly passive activities and noticing mental fog? 1 to 4. And this is where transformation can happen. Sign number 5 is having a strong sense of purpose and meaning in life. The Japanese call this concept Ikigai, your reason for being. And the science behind this is absolutely remarkable. A groundbreaking 2019 study published in JAMA Network Open followed nearly 7,000 adults over 50 and found that those with a strong sense of purpose were 15% less likely to die during the study period. Even more striking, people with high purpose showed better cardiovascular health, stronger immune function, and significantly lower rates of Alzheimer's disease. But here's what makes this different from just being happy. Purpose isn't about pleasure or comfort. It's about having a reason to get up in the morning, feeling that your life matters, and believing you have something meaningful to contribute. Research from Rush University Medical Center showed that people with greater purpose in life showed slower cognitive decline, even when their brains showed signs of Alzheimer's disease. In the blue zones, regions where people routinely live past 100, having a clear sense of purpose is one of the consistent factors. In Okinawa, Japan, where people have the longest life expectancy in the world, nearly everyone can articulate their Ikigai. Reflect honestly on these questions. Do you wake up most mornings with a sense of excitement or anticipation about the day? Can you clearly articulate why your life matters and what you contribute? Do you feel that your daily activities align with your deeper values? Do you look forward to future goals or projects? If you answered yes to all of these, you have strong purpose. Yes to some, you're on the right track but could strengthen this area. No to most, this is your most important focus area. Finding or strengthening your sense of purpose after 70 isn't about having a grand mission. Here's how to develop it. Identify your unique strengths and how you can share them. What do you do better than most people? How can you use that to help others? Mentor or teach someone younger. Sharing your knowledge and experience gives immediate purpose. Commit to a cause larger than yourself, whether it's environmental, social, or community-based. Create something that will outlive you. Write your memoirs, plant a garden, create art, document family history. Maintain close relationships with younger generations. Being actively involved in grandchildren's or young relatives' lives provides natural purpose. Set specific goals, even small ones, that give structure to your days. Rate yourself. Clear, strong sense of purpose that guides your days, 9 to 10. Some purpose, but could be stronger, 5 to 8. Mostly feeling adrift or wondering what the point is, 1 to 4. And this is where transformation can happen.
Sign number 6 is your nutritional status, but not in the way most people think. This isn't about following the latest diet trend. It's about whether your body is getting the specific nutrients it needs to thrive after 70, when nutritional needs actually change. A 2020 study in the Journal of Nutrition tracked over 11,000 adults aged 70 and older and found that those who maintained optimal levels of key nutrients, specifically protein, vitamin D, B12, and omega-3 fatty acids, had a 35% lower risk of mortality. But here's the problem. After 70, your body becomes less efficient at absorbing these nutrients, even if you're eating them. Protein is particularly critical. Research from McMaster University showed that adults over 70 need 50% more protein than younger adults to maintain muscle mass, yet most older adults eat far less protein than they need. The result? Accelerated muscle loss, weakness, and higher mortality risk. Vitamin D deficiency is epidemic among older adults, affecting up to 80% of people over 70. Studies show this correlates directly with increased falls, fractures, immune dysfunction, and mortality. B12 deficiency, affecting up to 40% of older adults, can cause cognitive problems that mimic dementia. The only way to truly know your nutritional status is through blood work, which you should get annually. But here are signs to watch for: unexplained fatigue or weakness, frequent infections or slow wound healing, thinning hair or brittle nails, loss of appetite or unintentional weight loss, muscle weakness despite staying active. Here's your nutritional optimization protocol for longevity after 70. Protein at every meal. Aim for 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein 3 times daily. Best sources: eggs, fish, chicken, Greek yogurt, legumes, lean beef. Get your vitamin D level tested and supplement to maintain levels between 40 and 60 nanograms per milliliter. Most people over 70 need 2,000 to 4,000 IUs daily. Consider B12 supplementation. After 70, many people can't absorb B12 from food efficiently. Sublingual or methylated B12 is most effective. Eat fatty fish twice weekly or take an omega-3 supplement with at least 1,000 milligrams combined EPA and DHA. Focus on nutrient-dense foods, colorful vegetables, berries, nuts, whole grains, and olive oil. Stay hydrated. Thirst sensation decreases with age. Aim for 8 cups of water daily minimum. A critical point: don't rely on appetite alone. After 70, appetite often decreases even though nutritional needs remain high or increase. You need to eat strategically, not just when hungry. Rate yourself. Getting adequate protein, taking appropriate supplements, maintaining healthy weight, 8 to 10. Some good habits but inconsistent, 5 to 7. Not paying attention to nutrition or losing weight unintentionally, 1 to 4. Sign number 7 is having an optimistic outlook on life and aging. And before you dismiss this as woo-woo, let me share the science that will blow your mind. A remarkable study from Yale University tracked 660 people over 23 years and found that those with positive perceptions of aging lived 7.5 years longer than those with negative views. That's more additional life than you get from lowering blood pressure, reducing cholesterol, maintaining healthy weight, exercising, or not smoking. 7.5 years from your mindset alone.
But it gets even more interesting. A 2019 study in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences followed nearly 70,000 people and found that the most optimistic individuals had an 11 to 15% longer lifespan and were significantly more likely to live past 85. The mechanism? Optimistic people have lower inflammation, better immune function, healthier behaviors, and faster stress recovery. Here's what's crucial. This isn't about denying reality or pretending everything is fine when it's not. Optimism, in the scientific sense, is about believing that you have agency, that your actions matter, and that good outcomes are possible. It's about resilience and adaptability, not naivety. Honestly assess your typical thought patterns. When facing a challenge, do you typically think about how to solve it or why it's hopeless? Do you view aging as a process of decline or as an opportunity for continued growth? When setbacks occur, do you bounce back relatively quickly or ruminate on them? Do you generally expect good outcomes or prepare for the worst? The great news is that optimism can be learned and strengthened. Here's how. Practice gratitude daily. Write down 3 specific things you're grateful for each evening. Research shows this rewires your brain to notice positive aspects. Challenge negative thoughts about aging. When you catch yourself thinking, "I'm too old for this," reframe it to, "I'm experienced enough to handle this differently." Surround yourself with positive people. Attitudes are contagious, both negative and positive. Celebrate small wins daily. Don't wait for big achievements. Acknowledging small successes builds optimistic thinking patterns. Learn from, don't dwell on failures. Ask, what can I learn, instead of, why did this happen to me? Limit news consumption. Stay informed, but don't marinate in negative news cycles. Focus on what you can control. Direct your energy towards actions you can take rather than circumstances you can't change. A powerful practice. At the end of each day, instead of reviewing what went wrong, ask yourself what went well today and what can I look forward to tomorrow. This simple shift can transform your outlook within weeks. Rate yourself. Generally optimistic with positive expectations, 9 to 10. Balanced with some negativity, 5 to 8. Frequently pessimistic or fatalistic about aging, 1 to 4. And this may be your highest impact area to work on.
Now, let's add up your scores from all 7 signs. Remember, you were rating yourself from 1 to 10 on each one. What's your total out of 70? Here's what your score means. 60 to 70 points? Exceptional. You're doing nearly everything right. Based on the research, you're in the top tier for longevity. Your focus should be on maintaining these habits and continuing to optimize. You're on track to not just live longer, but to live those years with vitality and independence. 45 to 59 points? Very good. You have a solid foundation. You're doing well in several areas, and with focused improvement in 2 to 3 key areas, you can move into the exceptional range. Look at your lowest scoring signs and choose one to focus on this month. 30 to 44 points? Room for improvement. You have significant opportunity to improve your longevity prospects. The good news? Because you're starting from a lower baseline, you'll see the most dramatic improvements quickly. Pick your lowest 2 scores and make them your primary focus for the next 3 months. Below 30 points? Immediate action needed. Your score indicates that multiple areas need attention. Don't be discouraged. This is actually empowering information because now you know exactly what to work on. I'd recommend starting with walking speed and social connection, as these tend to create positive cascades in other areas. Consider working with healthcare professionals to optimize your nutrition and address any underlying health issues. But here's what's most important. Your score today doesn't determine your future. A 2022 follow-up study showed that people who improved even 2 of these 7 signs over a 5-year period saw significant reductions in mortality risk. You can change your trajectory starting today. Let me share something powerful with you. In every study on successful aging, the common thread isn't genetics, wealth, or luck. It's consistent daily actions in these 7 areas we've discussed today. Think about it. Walking faster, building grip strength, nurturing relationships, challenging your mind, finding purpose.
eating strategically, and maintaining optimism. None of these require special equipment, expensive treatments, or winning the genetic lottery. They're all within your control starting today. Here's your action plan. Don't try to change everything at once. That's a recipe for burnout. Instead, pick your lowest score and focus exclusively on improving that one area for the next 30 days. Once that becomes habit, add another. Research shows that focusing on one habit at a time leads to an 80% success rate, while trying to change multiple habits simultaneously drops success rates below 35%. I want to leave you with this thought. The decisions you make today, the small actions you take right now, are literally writing the story of your later years. You're not just adding years to your life, you're adding life to your years. Quality matters as much as quantity. If you found this video valuable, do two things. First, share it with someone over 70 who would benefit from this information. Second, subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications because we're releasing a detailed deep dive on each of these 7 signs over the coming weeks with specific step-by-step protocols you can follow. Drop a comment below telling me which of these 7 signs you're going to focus on first and why. I read every comment and love hearing about your journeys. Remember, it's never too late to improve these signs. Whether you're 71 or 91, your body and mind respond to positive changes. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is right now. Until next time, stay strong, stay connected, and keep growing. I'll see you in the next video.